interrupt with that. Anyway, right then, we're going to have a look at this recorded game. We've got a 2v2 on Ghost Lake. Team 1 is going to be RVK Orcus, aka Chris. I'm sure most of you know who Chris is. He is a pretty damn famous player, and he's playing in green as Mongols off to the right of the map. Up to the very north of the map, and I like how they are actually in the four corners this time. It makes it easier to say where their positions are. We have his teammate Duck playing as Franks in blue. And Duck is a Chinese player. I don't know if many of you will be aware who he is. I think you know, those of you who follow tournaments and stuff probably heard of Duck, but I've not actually seen him playing for quite some time. So I think he's playing in the Medieval Wars for that matter. Down to the very south of the map in hot pink, we have El Clan Alive playing as Franks. He's a Brazilian player, and his teammate off to the left, Slipknot Plague. He is playing in red as Mongols. So we do have mirror civs, and it's mirror opposite. So obviously Plague and Chris here, both playing as Mongols. Duck in the north and Franks in the south. Sorry, Alive in the south. Both playing as Franks. Cannot get my words out today. So we have two Brazilian guys as well, and we have Chris, and who's obviously Canadian, and Duck is Chinese. I'd like to put a little bit of background about the players in there sometimes. I don't know everything about every player, but I do certainly know where the most experts are from in the world. The map is Ghost Lake then, and I haven't actually watched a Ghost Lake game in some time. There's a lot of sheep around, as you can see. Chris actually finding some in the centre. There's quite a lot of sheep in the centre of the map. You can see big groups of them there, and it makes it nice for taking sheep in the early game and getting that extra food in the Dark Age. Sometimes it can be a little bit of a pain to find sheep, and you're going to have plenty of them on Ghost Lake. There is no question or no doubt about it. Of course, the enemy could go into the centre and steal all the sheep before you get there, but as you can see, there's a hell of a lot on this ice. Other things as well, the ice is, you can't build on that. It's you wouldn't want to build a house on a patch of ice, because that just is illogical and stupid. So obviously you cannot build on the ice, which makes this map a little bit harder to wall. As you can see, it's kind of open here. This front section especially, very, very open for sure. And it makes this map pretty suitable for rushing if you wanted to. Obviously in this situation, Plague is so far away in this corner, and well, so is Duck, to be fair. They're all very, very far apart. You know, sometimes you can end up being quite close to your opponent on this map. For instance, if Plague was here instead of right in the corner, it would make quite a big difference, and they'd be able to flush each other. But in this case, as they are really all far apart in the far corners of the map, flushing, it's an option, and it probably will be seen, but it's probably not going to be as effective as if they're closer together. I think for Plague here, to make a feudal rush, it would be quite some time before he actually makes it over to Duck's base, that it might be very ineffective indeed. So I wouldn't actually be surprised if these guys go for some faster castle times than sort of standard. We'll see, but I think that's purely just because of the way that they're placed on the map. A lot of times in Ghost Lake, it's usually flushing and the sorts. They definitely will not be doing a Dark Age rush, as they simply are just too far apart to really do that. Perhaps Chris and Alive could do it. They're a bit closer, but I don't know. Something tells me that they're not going to do it. They've got Mongols here, so I mean, for Scout Rush, it could be a possibility actually. It could be a real possibility that Chris decides to Scout Rush. Obviously, we've got Franks in the bottom here, so he could be pretty vulnerable to a Scout Rush, but obviously he is playing, well, he is alive, so he's a pretty good player, and he'll most likely get out some Spearmen if Chris does decide to Scout Rush. Chris, of course, playing as Mongols, so he does have the 50% increase of gathering off of these boar. And coupled with the extra sheep that he's found, he's going to be very well off for sheep. He could even use his scout to push these deer a little closer to the TC. But right now, I think he's actually going to go for a Scout Rush, potentially on Alive. And Duck and Plague might not Feudal Rush at all. We'll see. Duck even finding a lot of sheep of his own as well up to the north here. He has a lot of sheep right there. He's getting his 2 boars in already, and he's going to have plenty of food. Going to go, and looks like he's going to lure a second. No, he's going to go for. Okay, never mind. It looked like he was going to go lure a 3rd boar. I was going to say, why would he have 3 boars? Standard resources on this map. Could go for the deer. There's only 3 on the front. I don't know if he's going to do that or not, but adding an extra villager to wood now could tell us that he's actually going to go for a fast castle. Either that or he's going to drush, but I don't know why he would drush. Are you kidding me? He's actually going to drush? Is he actually going to drush? The distance between him and his opponent is massive. And obviously Mongols down here in the left hand side of the map, he's going to have a very fast feudal age with the extra food if he wants it, and he can easily get out scouts and put an end to any drush that Duck might do. So I think not a good decision for him to drush here. He's even milling these deer right here, so it could be a real possibility that he goes for a pretty fast castle time. Alive building a barracks as well, and it's a little bit late for him to actually drush here, so I think he's just getting that barracks up earlier. I don't see why he would drush. The distances are just a bit too much with them, and especially playing as a Frank player, it's not a good idea to drush the Mongol, but either way, he's going to build a drush anyway. But I don't think drushing is going to be effective at all. We'll see if Duck's actually going to drush or not here. Yes, he is. Okay. Interesting, and I don't know why, to be honest with you. I just doesn't seem to make sense to me. Unless they're both going to go and team up on a light. But then again, no, because Chris isn't building a barracks either. Well, he is now, but it's too late. He's already going up to Feudal. He's going to go with scouts, I think. Let's see, is he taking any gold? No, he's not. He's going to go for scouts. So this is why a drush from Alive is just going to be so stupid. I mean, by the time he gets over to Chris's base, Chris is going to have he's going to have scouts out, and he's going to be able to repel the drush so easily. So I don't know. I don't know why this is, why this is happening. Why is this happening? So okay, so Duck's going to have 3 militia up here at the top. Look how long it's going to take for them to get over to Plague's base. It's just such a long way. Right now, Plague is probably up to Feudal. No, he's not. He's about to click up to Feudal. Wow. But he's walling himself in as well. So there's going to be so little that Drush can do. He's going to have to bring his militia around here, and that means going through the TC. He's clicked up to Feudal right now on 25 villages, or 24 villages and a scout. So it's quite possible that Plague's going to be able to get a fast castle in here indeed. The Drush from Alive making it towards Chris's base. Chris is going to hit Feudal right now though. And Chris is no fool. He can deal with the Drush right here. Let's see, Stable coming up, and he is going to go for scouts. This Drush, is it going to kill anything? We'll find out. He's heading straight towards his town centre right now, and Chris could put a palisade right here and here to stop his villagers getting hurt. But okay, so the Drush is gonna perhaps kill a villager. Wow, Chris, that should not have happened. How did he lose that villager? How? I am confused at what is going on here. This just doesn't make sense to me. This should not be happening. He's gonna lose a spearman as well, but Chris should be going up with scouts right now. Let's see. No scouts yet, there we go, scouts coming out. Drush then just coming in for Duck right now, and as I said before, Plague very easily walled up, and this is going to be totally ineffective. One thing that it does mean though, Duck is going to be able to get away with doing a fast castle if he wanted to. He's getting farms up, he's taking the sheep, he's got 3 villages on gold, so he will fast castle as well. But even so, I mean, he could have done it without the Drush here, and you know, he was well aware of the distance between him and Plague. It kind of just doesn't make sense that Plague would drush. In retrospect, though, you know, it's always easier to say these things in retrospect. In hindsight, you know, it's easy to look at it and say, you should have done this, you should have done that. But in reality, when you're playing the game, you can get very caught up in what you're doing and not think things through completely. Plague, though, here, anyway, he's in Feudal right now. And he is, what's he doing? Is he going to make an archery range, or he's making a stable? Okay, well of course he wouldn't make an archery range, he's not taking any gold. So he's going to go for scouts as well. So we've got pretty much your mirror civs, mirror strats. Chris though, I'd say a little bit further ahead with on the scouts front. He's got his scouts out already, but he is on less population. He's on 28 as opposed to Plague's, well, sorry. He doesn't have less population, he has less villagers. He has scouts, he has 3 scouts out, and of course Plague doesn't have any scouts right now, and he's on 27, whereas Chris has 3 or 4, and he's on 20, 28, 29 now. Archery range going up as well, so pretty standard build for a Mongol player, going with scouts first, and then 2 archery ranges with archers, crossbows. Going to bring the scouts in now to Alive space. Alive walled himself in quite nicely with palisades right there. Going to attack the berries. And he's got a spearman coming out already, so he's going to be able to deal with this pretty quickly, I think. But he is going to lose 1 villager, so They are pretty much even right now. Of course, Chris lost a villager to Alive in the Drush, and Alive lost a villager to Chris in the Flush. Ah, it's so poetic. Alive here then, looks like he's trying to aim for a fast castle. He's a little bit short on food at the moment. He's only got 5 farms up. I don't think he's taking any deer, so he is a little bit short of food right now. But he is getting this stable, and he's about to finish up his forage bush, so he probably going to go for knights. I wouldn't be surprised if he does that. Duck battering away at Plague's base right here, but Plague is so well walled in. He's not going to be able to get anything out of that, and Plague going straight with archery range right now. And surprisingly, Plague not actually being able to fast castle here, and that does mean that he's going to be in the feudal age for some time now, but he's going to be able to repel this drush from Duck. He did send some scouts over as well, seeing if he can break in, but Duck is fully walled also. And Duck now as well is about to click, well, he has clicked up to castle. Plague, well, sorry, not Plague, Alive even has clicked up to castle as well. So those two are going to be up to castle right now. But can he withstand the hardcore raiding from Chris right here with his 4 scouts? I don't know. If he doesn't repair that wall, then his scouts are going to get in. But he's going to repair the wall. Of course he's going to repair the wall. Who am I kidding? Let's see what he's going to do. I think he's going to go for knights. He's playing as Franks. So, of course, Franks do have a really nice knight line. They do get, effectively, bloodlines for free in the Castle Age. And if we have a look at his blacksmith, he's not upgrading anything just yet. But he's probably going to stick the armor on there. And wow, okay. He lost his walls, but it's okay. He's still walled in on the other side, and he's about to click up, well, hit castle in just a moment, so he should be able to get knights out and repel Chris before anything too bad happens. Duck's sending over his militia, and they're getting a double team on Alive right here. Alive should be able to defend. The problem is here, obviously, Chris bringing in archers as well, and he's also still feudal. So both of our Mongol players having an extended feudal here, and he is going to continue to create archers and upgrade those to crossbow once he goes up to the castle age. The archers, of course, really nice for him. Going to be able to stop these villagers from mining gold, and yes, you did deal with the scouts, and you stopped yourself from getting trapped in there, but oh wait, you've trapped yourself in, and archers are firing arrows at your face. So he's not going to be surviving much there, and that's a problem for him, because he's obviously going to be relying on making knights now, and he hasn't got gold income, so that is a big problem. Oh, and militia coming in at the back as well. This is not Alive's day right now. Getting double teamed right here, and he could lose another villager, which is messy to say the least. Gonna bring his spearman over to deal with that, and he should be able to get a couple of knights out straight. Well, not even a couple. He has be able to get 1 knight out. He doesn't have enough gold coming in, but he is going to put a TC straight down all this gold at the back to try and secure that. The problem is he's got a lot of raiding coming in on his base. His villagers have been quite idle, and obviously that's just never ever a good thing. 1 knight, not going to deal with this army here. Chris should be able to deal with that pretty easily, and he probably will do that pretty successfully as well. A couple of scouts coming over to Chris's base. He could lose a couple of villagers over here from this raid if this one gets targeted in particular. 1 knight is out for Alive. 1 knight, everybody. Give him a round of applause. But is he going to be able to do much with it? Well, the first thing he's going to do is send it straight towards Chris's base. And I think why would he do that? Well, he obviously is in communication with his teammate here, and he knows his teammate is going to go and raid Chris, so he's going to send his knight over there and try and go with a bit of a counter attack. Let's have a look though. Chris still feudal, Plague up to castle right now, so Chris very slow to get up to the castle age, but he has got a pretty big feudal army, a lot of archers there, and he will be okay, I think, for the time being. But saying that, he is being 2v1'd as well. Fortunately though, he put enough pressure on Alive that Alive could not get out any more knights much faster than he has done. He's only got 1 still at the moment. So Chris should be okay holed up in here. He's got a pretty big feudal army, and also Duck is up to the castle age as well right now, getting up his 2nd TC, and he has certainly got more knights than Alive. Now, although Chris is having to play defensively here, it's pretty clear that Chris and Duck have the advantage overall. He has got a pretty big feudal army, as I said, and once he does go up to castle, those will become crossbows. They've also done pretty good raiding on Alive here, and as you can see by Alive's score, it's certainly starting to fall behind. Duck then, still with the 1 stable right here, but he is going to be able to, well, sustain knight production, I think. He needs a couple more farms. It's up to him now what he's going to do. Is he going to make villagers, or is he going to make a few more knights to help out? I think once they repel this attack, which they actually are about to do, because Chris has a big enough army here to do so. I think Duck then going to stop with the knights for a little bit and just focus on his making villagers for now. Should do exactly that, and sending some knights over to Plague's base. He doesn't have any upgrades on these, so could still die pretty quickly to that town centre. And Chris here with a lot of archers, going to be able to repel Plague pretty easily. He's also got archers in the back here, right at Alive's wood. Nice attack from him, going to be able to pick off a couple of villagers, or one villager. Let's see, any weak ones here? This villager could get picked off. He's going to aim to focus that one down right there. He's going to get two. He could even get a third, but Alive is bringing over a knight right now. So that's, yeah, he's going to get a third quite easily. And that's probably worth it. 3 villagers at the cost of 3 archers and a spearman. It's probably worth it, you know, because these can be quite easily replaced. But Alive is going to be needing every villager he can get right now, as he is sort of playing from behind, in a sense. Chris then is still feudal. And he couldn't upgrade to castle straight away, because obviously if he did that he wouldn't be able to have enough army to defend himself. Though, to be fair, because seeing the size of Plague's army, seeing the size of Alive's army, he probably would have gotten away with going up a little bit faster. But he should go up pretty soon anyway. Plague now also into the castle age, so it just leaves Chris, and Plague is actually making camels as well, which is interesting. You don't see camels, I don't think, that often from Mongol players, but it does make sense. Duck is making knights, why not make camels to counter that? He can upgrade to what can he upgrade? He can upgrade to crossbow, but he didn't really make any archers, so he's just going to go with knights and camels for now, and try and save his teammate and help his teammate out, as he is getting 2v1'd. Duck coming in with knights, scout cavalry coming in as well, and Alive is really getting punished right here. He is getting his 3rd TC up though, which is nice for him, and it's going to help him secure his economy a bit more. Duck, no upgrades on the knights, no upgrades on these camels or knights from Plague either. I think Chris now's got to be up to castle. He's just clicked up, and what are we seeing at the front here? An archery range, so he is going to go all out archers and crossbows, which actually, judging by the amount of archers he has here, is a pretty safe bet. He actually has enough archers. Once he upgrades to crossbow and gets bodkin arrow, he should be able to one-shot any knight anyway with that amount of archers right there. So he's going to be in a reasonably good spot once he does get up to castle. He'll be able to send an attack straight over to Alive's base, and with the aid of Duck as well, should be able to start picking off some villagers, because these guys are pretty cooped up in their base. Well, sorry, Alive is very cooped up in his base, and that gives Chris and Duck the map control that they want. They want to keep them inside their base, they want to keep them busy so that they can do what they want at home. Chris then continuing to make archers 3 at a time. Plenty of villagers gathering gold right there to sustain that, and plenty of wood income as well. Starting to take some stone. Now I'm wondering where he actually spent that stone. Perhaps he sold it? Wait, no, he couldn't have sold it. He doesn't have a market, so... oh, there we go. He built that tower, of course. So he's taking some stone right now so that he can make sure he gets 2 TCs up once he reaches the castle age, and he should be able to do that pretty quickly. And I think Chris here going to be in a really nice position once he does get up to castle. With Duck as well, a 3rd stable going up right now, and he has got his 3 TCs right here. Lots and lots of farms going up, plenty of gold as well, and that's good for him. It means he's going to be able to afford to get a lot of knights out. And I'd say at this stage, judging by the size of Plague's army, he has a little bit more on the map already than Plague, which is a good thing. Of course, Plague is the Mongol player, and I think he's probably lagging a little bit behind Alive here, because Alive does seem to have quite a few knights out. Still no upgrades though, and I'm wondering when the upgrades are going to come in. Done for Duck, his defense upgrade. No upgrades again for Plague right here. And these guys managing to skirt past each other just ever so slightly. Chris now, though, straight away, heading his army straight over to Alive's base over here. And he has got knights coming in as well. So Plague and Alive both going for a bit of an attack at the same time. Is Chris walled? No, he's not. There's a hole in his wall. Nice one, Chris. There's a hole right there. And he obviously didn't see that. Gonna lose a villager or 2 right here. First defense upgrade on these knights as well, so he's going to be able to withstand arrow fire just a little bit, but Chris does have +2 attack on his town centres, so it's going to be very easy for him to start picking off these knights if they stay under the town centre for too long, I think. Going to be able to do a lot of damage with the +2 attack, and this TC should go up as well. Is he going to lose another villager here? Could do, it should just go up, get the villagers inside there. Losing 3 or 4, that's quite a big deal, but at the same time we've got Duck coming into a live space, starting to pick off some villagers there, and he has got the second upgrade on his defense. Live does not have +1 or +2, so going to be having a tough time defending against these knights here without the fletching upgrade. House being battered down from Duck, Plague coming in with his camels, and adding in some cavalry archer as well. Interesting, he's made such a mixed army here, and that's something that you don't usually see that often. It's very uncommon to see players making such a huge mix of army. I mean, he's got knights, he's got camels, he's got cavalry archers, he's even got archers and spearmen around as well. So making a real big mix here, which is something that you don't see that often, and I quite like it. The choice of adding the cavalry archers though, it's not such a bad idea. I mean, Mongols have pretty good cavalry archers, they're just so expensive. And for the cost of the cavalry archer, if you're not planning on massing them up, it's probably better to go with just knights or camels. Duck with a monk, going to be able to defend quite nicely with that, and making knights still 3 at a time. Still also inside Alive's base right here, and Alive going to be losing so much eco time. And as you can see by the scores there, he is currently 1,000 score behind Duck. So it would be pretty cool if these guys could bring it back. But I'm not seeing that happening at the moment. I'm really curious to see where this army is from Chris. I have totally lost it. I've lost track of his army. He had a lot more crossbows than that, and they've suddenly disappeared. And I don't see any dead bodies on the map. I don't see where they've gone. I'm so confused by this. Where have they gone? He's got 36, and they are, well, some here. Ah, okay, he has them inside of his base. Fair enough. I think he was probably trying to deal with Alive's raiding there with his crossbows. Camels coming in then, and +1 defense for those against Duck's +2 defense and +1 attack. But interesting here, Alive with how many town centers? 3, 4, 5 TCs there for Alive. He's got to add them in, otherwise the raiding's just going to get too much. Quite a big army from Duck though. Duck has a lot of knights out right now. I'd say he's probably got the biggest army of the lot at the moment. Having a look at the army tab, he's got 25 knights, which actually isn't as many as, well, not as much army as Chris has, but Chris about to come in with these crossbows, and that's going to make things a whole lot harder for Alive as well, because crossbows can snipe villagers regardless of the fact that there's a town centre there, because they don't have to get in range. Not sure if either of these guys have husbandry, but it's going to be quite a long chase back to Duck's base. But Duck here, so many knights, and if Plague continues to chase these knights down, could find himself losing a lot of camels here, as he's probably going to, well, you know, no, never mind. I thought Duck was just going to send his knights over here and have an all-out fight, but no, he's going to head back to his base, and he has actually got a castle up into his base as well, so going to be pretty defended there. And now we see Chris coming in with his giant army of crossbows, and all Chris needs now is a couple of mangonels, and Alive is going to be so stuck in his base. He's going to be absolutely stucked. Duck losing knights, and you know, if he'd have actually led those knights to his other knights, he could have killed the camels pretty easily. But he didn't do that. He led them back to his base and lost them all on the way. He has got a couple of monks here. Is that going to be enough to actually convert? Well, it's going to convert 2 units at once, but it's still not much compared to the size of Alive's army right here. We see, sorry, Plague's army. Alive getting a mangonel out, and that's pretty nice. He is going to be able to do big damage to Chris if Chris doesn't keep an eye on his army, but Chris is pretty good at micromanagement. I say that like it's like pretty good. No, he's an expert player. He is good at micro, and if he keeps an eye on his army, which he inevitably will do, these mangonels can be pretty ineffective. But of course, it does require you to keep a very close eye on your army in order for that to work. Attack coming in from Plague, and the problem is, the reason why players don't really go for such a diverse army composition is because it means you have to spend more on upgrades. Right now, Plague has +1 attack on his crossbows, +1 defense, +2 attack on his crossbows, +1 defense on his crossbows. His cavalry have +1 defense, +0 attack. So that means he's got to spread his upgrades out over all different areas in order to actually upgrade his army much. Whereas Duck here, he's already maxed out the upgrades on his knights, and that's going to make them a lot more formidable because he's still going to have the same amount of numbers. He's also right into the back of Plague's base here. Plague going to have to come all the way back, which is a big deal for him. He did want to keep put the pressure on outside Duck's base, but Duck way too defended with 5 stables right there. Nice from him, and he has just gone up to Imp as well. So we're going to see Cavalier from him very, very quickly. There's Cavalier, there's Husbandry, so he's getting Husbandry there at long last. Could lose quite a lot of knights inside of Plague's base. Just proves that going for camels here was a good decision for him to make. But a lot of crossbows as well from Chris, and coming in right now. And if Plague chases Duck all the way out, then Chris could get him in a really tight spot. If he follows, then he's going to be screwed. But I think he's going to actually come back. He's got to get back. He can't deal with that amount of crossbows right there. He just can't. He's going to lose so much. There's a massive, massive army outside of his base, and even though he's got the cavalry archers here, they're going to die. If he stays in range of these crossbows. There's just too many. And Duck now sending after wave after wave after wave of knights, soon to be Cavalier as well. The upgrade's 75% right there. Alive coming in with knights as well, and mangonels also. But these guys are about to get the upgrade, and that upgrade's going to make a hell of a lot of difference in just a few seconds. I don't know, about 5, 4, 3. I was a bit off, but he has got the Cavalier upgrade now, and obviously that's going to make a huge difference. 120 HP against 144. The attack as well, so much more increased, an extra 4 attack on there. So these Cavalier are going to absolutely wreck over here. There's an absolutely massive army from these two right inside of Plague's base. Alive going to try and go for the mangonel shot if he can do it. He's got his knights in here as well, but of course I don't think it's going to be enough. +4 defense on the Cavalier right now. Pretty huge deal, and Plague does have +2 thankfully on his town centres. Oh, big mangonel shots from Alive. Didn't actually kill many crossbows there, and you know, he could have actually got another shot off very easily. So that was actually a little bit of a waste there for him, and it looks like Plague here going to lose a town centre as well. Pretty big battle going on right here. Who is going to defend it though? Who is going to win even? It looks right now that Duck and Chris have got this so easily. Of course, with Cavalier in the mix, with that many crossbows in the mix, there is no question that Duck and Chris have this battle. Whether or not Plague and Alive are going to decide that that's it, they've had enough after this, well, we'll have to wait and see. But it's massive losses for Plague and Alive right here. Doesn't really look like Plague has much of an army left, to be honest with you. He's trying to make more knights right now, but as far as I can tell, he's not up to Imperial. And Duck, right in his corner right here, without much pressure at all, has been able to do a very nice Imperial time and get up the upgrades. He might even be having Paladin on the way, you know. Let's have a check real quick. Paladin, 95%. Paladin's going to be done, I think. As soon as they see the Paladins, they're going to resign, surely. 192 health on these guys. That is pretty damn beast. Duck here going to be absolutely rolling through Plague's base with those Paladins right there. That's a really nice time for him. 37 minutes, fully upgraded Paladins strolling through your opponent's base. That's with flushing and drushing as well, so really nice play from him. Alive has got a few knights. I don't think it's enough though, because Plague here he's gonna be out in just a moment. I think if he gets the castle up, could make a difference, but I don't know. He might not even get that castle up here. If Duck's paying attention, he's gonna click on all these villages individually, and he's gonna take the castle down before it goes up. Castle is, oh, it's so close, it's so close, it's so close. Can he stop it? He should be able to stop it, but no, he's not gonna stop it. He didn't focus the villages, so it's going to go. But it's okay. He's got a trebuchet right here, and he's going to be attacking that really damn quickly. Duck is playing this absolutely phenomenally, I've got to say. Just that absolutely awesome play by him. Plague, though, up to Castle now, sorry, Imperial now as well. Probably going to be looking for the Cavalier upgrade, but he's playing so far from behind. There was Cavalier, you saw it. Playing so far from behind. Duck with so many Paladins right in here. He's almost maxed out already. 40 minutes in. Gonna be maxed out in just a second. And Plague's gonna resign. I don't blame him. Just a moment now until Alive does. What is Alive gonna be able to do? It's gonna be 2v1. He doesn't even have Cavalier yet. Duck, on the other hand, fully upgraded Paladins right now. It's just going to be a walkover. And I've got to say, Chris and Duck played that pretty nicely. And, you know, I was a little bit surprised that Duck decided to drush. Didn't really make much sense to me, and, you know, even in hindsight, it didn't make much sense to drush at all. He was still going to get away with going up for a fast castle anyway, because he was walling up, so the drush was a bit pointless. But regardless of that, he still managed to do absolutely phenomenally there. I mean, he wasn't really harassed or attacked the entire game because he had the walls, and he was able to just absolutely steamroll through Alive and Plague. Chris, on the other hand, doing a nice job as well. He was under a little bit more pressure. At times it was 2v1 over at his base. It was also 2v1 over at Alive. They put Alive down very, very quickly there, and Alive, overcompensating massively by building 5 TCs, certainly slowed him down quite a bit, and obviously with that eco harassment as well, caused him to lag behind quite significantly. That was a pretty fun game anyway. And I think now, probably going to do another one. What is the time? It is